Very good morning, everyone. Uh, Again, this is Sabyasachi Bharti, and on behalf of CMS VATAVARAN, I welcome you all. As you know that uh, we are observing 11th CMS VATAVARAN Environment Film Festival and Forum on hybrid mode, and during these festival period, that is till 23rd of April, you can watch 89 exclusively and very painstakingly chosen 89 films talking about different aspects of environment exclusively on India Science OTT channel. Uh, Today, as you know, that we are uh, going to talk to one very bright young Indian environmental activist, Ms Ridhima Pandey. And Ridhima advocates for action against climate change, and she was one of the complainants of who, to the United Nations, along with several other young climate activists, against several nations' failure to take action against the climate crisis. She is talking about the ill effects of climate change a lot, and going on various fora. And due to her activism, she was also selected in the list of BBC's 100 Women announced on 23rd November 2020, the 100 women who can influence the world. And she's also recipient of Mother Teresa Memorial Award for Social Justice in New Delhi. Without any delaying, let me have welcome the young environmental activist from India, Ridhima Pandey. Hi, Ridhima. Very good morning.
Hi, very good morning.
Ridhima, uh, as we were discussing before, starting of this session, like uh, why and how why you are doing this climate activism, because I think you are in class 10th and you are going to give a board. So generally in this age, people, they fun, they party, they go to friends, all these things. uh, but you are talking about a very serious climate, a serious issue, environmental issue, that is climate change. It has so many layers in around it. So in such a early age, you are talking about such a serious issue, which is not local, but it's a global problem. So tell me first that why you have decided to do it. Oh, and what are those reasons that you force you to do it?
hmm for me, the very first reason why I became climate activist and why I'm continuing, even being a 10th grader, I guess it is most probably the fear that I had since childhood of dying someday because of a natural disaster. But now it's more likely to be, dying because of everything that's been happening, whether say it the air pollution, the water pollution, or the increasing temperature, or all these many diseases that's been occurring. So what I can say is that all of this is happening. I am an activist because I somewhere fear that I might die someday because of the bad deeds of the older generation. I can say, for instance, I'm not. Me or my generation hasn't done something wrong, but still we are the one facing a lot right now, and we'll be the one facing in the future, struggling in the future as well. So I guess that sort of is one of the reasons why I am an activist, to save myself and to save, probably make this planet more livable for the coming generations and for my generation instance. And at the same time, I can say, I feel really connected to environment. I don't know why. I really like animals. I love animals. I really like being around nature. I love going to my great grandma's place. So I can say, I since because since childhood, both of my parents have been working in the same field. So since childhood, I've learned how important the environment is in our life. So I can say I kind of understand that importance in a way, and that sort of really makes me feel like I should do something to stop that destruction, because at the very end, this environment is the one because of which I am surviving on this planet. So I can say it's just, it's sort of something that I really love doing. It's for the environment, it's for my sake as well, and it's also because it's not fair that me or
Hmm.
my generation hasn't done something wrong, but still we are the
Hmm.
ones struggling. So I just want to change the way things are going on right now.
So every thing which is happening must have a trigger point. So let us go in past and let us talk about the trigger point. क्या हुआ था कि रिधिमा had decided to talk about such a serious issue, जिससे बड़े बड़े लोग भी and the big, you know, policy makers भी and people, thinkers, they really, you know, take a time to talk about this. So क्या हुआ था that Ridhima decided to become a climate activist in such a young age?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can say how I got inspired was not inspired, but kind of like, how I felt the need of doing something was after seeing the Kedarnath flash floods. After seeing the Kedarnath flash flood, I just mean it happened in 2013. I was not very, I was still very young at that point of time, so I didn't knew
Mhm.
what flash floods were at that point of time, or what climate change even was. So I mean, I was just enjoying my, like, I can say, regular life. I was living a happy life as a kid, playing and
Mhm.
roaming around, playing with my friends, and just having fun. And all of a sudden, the flash flood occurs, and my mom is watching TV, and I mean, I was not allowed to change the TV channel. Even if she's not sitting and she is not watching TV, she would be listening she would be listening the news 24/7, even if she's cooking or she's working on something else, or even if she's teaching me, she would teach me and then she would go back to the news. So, I mean, it was something, that my mom was keeping a close eye on. So, I mean, I was a little frustrated that I was not able to watch my, cartoons and stuff like that. So it was, that anger that I can't watch those things. And also, my dad went there, to the place where the floods happened, to Kedana, to rescue animals with his team. So I mean, I saw those visuals. I mean, I just sat beside my mom because I didn't had any other option. What could I have, done for the whole entire day if the TV was just, news was going on 24/7. So I mean, I
Mhm.
just sat next to my mom and I watched those visuals of people crying and, you know, um, mm, talking about that they've lost their houses or their family members, or kids crying that they've lost their parents and they don't know what to do, they can't find their houses anymore, it's all destroyed. And then seeing broken trees and all the material of houses in the Ganga, and seeing water level rise. And also, because Kedarnath kind of, the road, my house is kind of like the place from where you go to, I mean, Haridwar comes in mid. So, I mean,
Mhm.
you go through Haridwar when you go to Kedarnath. So, everyone was trying to come back because of the floods. So, there was a huge traffic jam. I mean, things were not moving. Our schools were closed. Things were not moving. It was just, for hours, people would be stuck in front of our house. And if we had to go anywhere, we couldn't take our, bikes or anything. Even, when it was, we were going on foot, it was really chaotic. So I mean, after seeing all those things, I just casually asked my mom what happened, because I mean, I didn't know what flash floods even were.
Mhm. Hello. I think there is some problem with the net. Stream. I think there is some problem with the connection, friends. I'm really sorry for that. Uh, Let me try to reconnect it. Uh, Ridhima, can you hear me? I think we lost connection with Ridhima, so we will try. She is in Haridwar right now, so we will try to connect with her again. I'm extremely sorry for this technical glitch. I can see in between. I really want you to uh, request you to go to India Science Society channel, and you will find wonderful films which has been handpicked by the various uh, jury members, and they you can watch those films there till 23rd. Yeah, we had joined by her. Hi, sorry, Ridhima,
Yeah,
probably
sorry, my
we.
networks.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, my
yes, no
network's not
problem.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, before this technical glitch, we were talking about how you started it, and then it was basically the flash flood of Kedarnath that happened, and then how you have taken forward, uske baad kya kiya, and what was the first uh, program you joined as a climate activist, and then uh, please also tell us that you went to United Nations and you presented along with other kids from the different part of the world memorandum or to the United Nations. Please do tell us about that also.
Mm-hmm. My parents explained me what climate change was. I can say I just found it interesting. I mean, my mom told me that, our human emissions was the one responsible for climate crisis. And I was like, because for me at that point of time, only cars used to emit. So I was like, how can us driving car change the temperature of such a big earth? And even if the temperature is increasing, how can it be, bad? I mean, it's just gonna be more summers. I used to love summers at that point of time. So I was like, more ice creams and everything. So it's gonna be fun. Why is it bad? And my dad was like, you would be the one, who would be the most impacted. I was like, why am I gonna be the most impacted? So, I mean, he was talking about the whole entire generation, but I thought, because he said you, I was like, it's only gonna be me. So I was like, why am I gonna be the one, affected? So I gradually started learning. I learned a lot. My mom helped me out. She used to tell me about different things, about different news articles, and yeah, my dad also used to take me to wildlife safaris, to rescue centers. So that was also something which made me really connected towards the nature, towards the environment, and it made me realize how important it is. And yeah, gradually, as I grew older, I learned about different things, and I learned how bad of a problem it is. And it's
Mhm,
not just us driving car, it's a lot more, and it's not just
mhm,
limited to flash floods. And then understanding that many kids are going through the fear. I just had nightmares, but they've been through that fear that I have. And I just wanted things to change. I didn't want things to be that way for any other kids. I just didn't want it, my dreams to be true for any other kid out there. So
yeah.
I wanted to do something. So what I did was, like, my very first action was I sort of started living a more sustainable life. It was not like really, like, kind of like sustainable in a way, but it was kind of like reducing my own carbon footprints, using my emissions, like cutting out plastics from my life, and walking for short distances, or using bicycles, and reducing my asking my parents to reduce their carbon footprints, like not really driving a lot or using public transports. And yeah, at the same time saving water, electricity, and talking to my friends about this thing as well. And after that, gradually I understood that there has to be something big that needs to be done. And that
Mhm,
was what inspired me to kind of like take my very first action, which was filing the petition against the government of India. And I
mhm,
can say the very first program, it was not a program, but yeah, the very first kind of group project or something that I did was going to the United Nations, being a part of the lawsuit that we filed at United Nations under the Child Rights Committee. So
mhm,
I can say it was a total different experience, because it was my first time like second time traveling abroad, but it was something very different, because me and my brother are Marvel fans. So we were like, I'm going to New York. So we were hella excited. And my brother, we watched a Spider-Man movie or something, I don't know. And I was so excited when I learned that I would be going to New York and everything. But that excitement was something else. But then when I went to New York, and when I met my other co-petitioners, and we started talking and everything, I just realized that they are all are going through the same fear. They're all going through the same difficulties. And it was something like, even though our stories were kind of different, it was just that
mhm,
it was something that we got hit by something, we got affected by something, and we started taking actions. And
mhm,
there
mhm,
are different problems that we are facing in our places.
mhm.
But again, it's because of climate change. And again,
So,
it's making other
yeah.
kids impacted. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ridhima, you file a petition in United Nations with the other kids from the different part of the world against the different state government. So, what was the reaction when you came back? Like, what was the reaction there in United Nations, and what was the reaction when you came back to India? Was
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, I'm sure that there will be a few people who will be very happy, and there will be few people who will be very, you were not taking these things as a, very positively. So what was the reaction there and here?
Mm-hmm. I mean, so for the United Nations, I mean, it was like the very first petition of its kind. So the
Mhm,
committee was, working very closely at that point of time. I mean, we thought that they were working very closely. They were kind of like, they took very long times when it comes to, giving the decisions and everything. And, everything was going on pretty good. And they even talked to us, which was, it happened the very first time that they were talking to the petitioners. Usually
mhm,
they only used to talk to the, like, maybe the parents, if they were doing, if they were doing, the petitioners were doing things with their help, or
mhm,
to
yeah.
their, lawyers,
Mhm,
or it was just, paperwork that was going on, but they never
mhm,
talked one on one, like on video chat or something, with the petitioners. And it
mhm,
happened with us. We presented, our point of views, what happened, and our stories, and what we expected from the committee. I mean,
mhm,
at the very end, the decision was very different than what we all thought. It was not a positive decision that we all were thinking of. But yeah,
mhm,
I mean, I guess committee took it very seriously, and it was kind of like it would be a help for other kids or other people, those who might want to do similar kind of
mhm,
petition in the future. Even though
mhm,
the restrictions are kind of like not that great, because how can you expect an individual to go to all the states or all the countries individually to file a case there, and then lose, and then after that come to the United Nations. But yeah, anyways, it was kind of like a nice overall experience when it comes to the United Nations. And yeah, when it comes to when I came back to India, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it was something else. I mean, I don't know what it was, but yeah, people started taking me more seriously. It was that people will they started recognizing me, my words, they started giving my work an importance. And yeah, people thought that yes, I was doing something which was important because I went to the United Nations. But before that, everyone was just like, not really into what I wanted to say or everything. So it really helped me out throughout my activism. And yeah, people were like, you did a great job. But some people like, it's okay, but you should focus on your studies, or studying is
Mm.
more important because that's going to make your future. But no one really understood that
So
what I am doing is
Ridhima,
for my future.
Ridhima, there must be some people who were saying ki, look, the climate change is a very serious issue, and it's a very scientific issue. It's a very global issue, and you are still very small, and you don't know its complexities and its politics. It's everything. So why are you talking about? Have you listened these kind of comments also come across where people want you to just not to talk about it and be as a normal student?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time, every single time. I mean, there
Mm-hmm.
has to be, someone from the crowd every single time, every single place where I go to. It's just like, someone has to be the one that, it's too technical for you guys to understand. How do you do that? I mean, it's just that you have a general perspective. It's just that you just know climate change is there, but you don't really know the reasons behind that. And, you guys are criticizing the governments or the politicians or the corporates for those things, but we want development and everything. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there are people having different perspectives. They just want, some of them don't want me to be an activist at all. They just want me to be a normal girl. Being a girl,
Mhm,
they just want me to study, stay at home, and all those things, do all those
mhm,
things. And
mhm,
there are some people, those who are like, we're okay with what you're doing, but don't, criticize the governments. And then there are some
mhm,
people, those just turn a blind eye on
mhm,
development, even though it's very destructive and it's affecting them.
mhm.
They're like, we want development, and you are the one stopping the development. You don't want our country to be developed, and blah blah blah. So I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I get these comments more than that. I mean, it's more than that. I get numerous kind of comments which are very weird,
So
awkward,
what?
and they don't
So what
really
you
make
will what?
sense.
So what you will tell to these people that in a way somewhere they are they are talking what is there that it's a very technical and very complex issue, and you are still a kid. So what do you tell to those people who are
Mm-hmm. I mean,
wanting you to not talk about it?
I would say I have people, those who help me. I mean, I have my parents, I have, my parents' friends, they are all expert in this field. I mean, my lawyers themselves, they are expert in this field, so they help me out. And there is we're living in a world where we have Google, we have internet, we have so many resources for us, to explore everything. So what we are doing is that we're using, and we're utilizing those kind of, the things that we have, and we are learning. So I mean, and also, I mean, we always talk about, that age doesn't matter and everything, but why don't we really, implement those things? I mean, I know I am a child, but if I know about things, I mean, I always say that I don't really know very technically about the problem. I am not a technical person. I just speak with my experience, what I have seen, and a little that I know. So I never say that, I am an expert and I know everything and all these stuff like that. But I mean, people telling me that, we are kids and, we can't be an activist is just not justiciable, because them being the older generation, they should have been the one, doing things right for us, but they are not doing it, so that sort of is, bad point as well.
Well said, well said. Now coming to a lighter side, what Ridhima is real, like as a real person, a real student, a real kid. Like, uh, what do you do? What's your normal routine, and what's your hobbies? What
Hmm.
you because when we talk about a climate activist, oh my God, very serious, must be very serious.
Hmm.
And you are having a aspect like me, so we generally looks very serious in general. So how are you as a person?
Hmm.
Are you a
I mean,
serious
as a
person?
person, I am not. I am not a serious person at all. I am very fun. I am the clown, the joker of my group. And yeah, I mean, I always love laughing and, talking to my friends, cracking jokes. And yeah, I mean, I really like doing normal stuff that everyone do. And I do those things as well. I love, going, I mean, I love vacation. I love breaks. And I love going to my nanny's house and, just being with my cousins all day and, just cooking weird things, doing different experiments, and yeah, enjoying stuff. And yeah, one of the things that I really love is playing with my cats. I do it all the time. I mean, even if I'm studying, I mean, recently they have been really great with my stress and anxiety, because I mean,
Yeah.
studying for the 10th grade, having so much anxiety, exams are in just 10 days, and every single time my cat does something which makes me laugh. So I really like, playing with my cats, or even, my friends. And yeah, I mean, me and my brother, we talk about, weird things. I don't know, maybe different trends going on, Instagram or everything, and we laugh about those things as well. So I am really, in general, I am a really fun, cool person. I would crack jokes, I
Mhm.
would make people laugh, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's really, I'm a fun person. But yeah, my routine is not something very specific. I mean, it just
Mhm.
depends on what I am doing. If I have a lot of meetings, it would be just waking up, having breakfast, and then just going on for the meetings, and then after I get a break, I would just sleep. And yeah, the only thing that is regular in my routine is going for my tuition classes from 4 to like from 5 to 7, and that sort of is it. If that is like a specific thing that I do every single day. But yeah, besides that, it's my routine is very flexible. It just depends on, how many
So
meetings I have
so
and
do
everything.
you
Yeah.
do you get some special privilege, special treatment in your tuitions and in your class, in your schools? Look, oh my God, Ridhima is here, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it never happened, to be honest. I would love to experience that, even not every single day, but yeah, for once, feeling nice about, what I do, and people, seeing that, okay, I've done something. Because I mean, the only time I feel like, I've done something big is when I'm in the meetings, and when, I get asked these kind of questions. That's the time when I feel like, okay, I've done something big. And I mean, besides that, in my tuition, the only thing that I hear all the time is that when I say that I'm struggling with learning geography, people are like, "Oh, you should ace that subject. You're working on environment," and I'm like, "What I am working on and what geography is, and what I am learning is totally
Mhm.
different." And I mean, I
Mhm.
struggle with numbers and like facts and figures, and people are like, "You should ace that subject," and I mean, you should be a like this, or you should. And I mean, when we talk about, I talk about I have not prepared very well for the papers and everything. Everyone is just like, oh, you give so many speeches and everything, you should be, it should be easy for you to like make questions and do all those things. And I'm like, I am a normal person like you guys. How would it be? It's not something that being an activist, someone gives you a superpower or something like that. So, yeah, it's weird, in schools and tuitions having all these comments around.
Rizima, while talking about this, you said that what I am studying in geography and what I am doing is different. Generally, do you think that now it's the high time where we include this climate change, and although environmental science is a subject in so many schools and colleges, is it a high time to include this climate change into the curriculum? Because you just said that what we are seeing and what we are reading is little different. The textbooks are different and what we are facing is different.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like the education system needs to be updated when it comes to like talking and studying about environmental crisis, because this crisis in a whole is very different from what we are learning. I mean, what we are learning is
Mhm.
about different aspects and everything. Talking about my geography, I am currently talking like learning about manufacturing industries and like roadways and everything. I'm kind of like learning about development, to be honest, how
Mhm.
we should perceive development and every single aspects like that. And
Mhm.
within those chapters there are some points when we talk about like say air pollution or water pollution, but we've never really talked about climate change in specific in general, or I have never studied a chapter, like where I have studied just about climate change or just about how bad it is for us. So I mean, I feel like the education system needs to be updated. It's really important for the system to be updated, for the textbooks
Mhm.
to be updated, and
Mhm.
for the whole kind of the way teachers are teaching. That way needs to be updated, because just teaching from the textbook all the time, it's just not going to
Mhm.
make things nicer. And even there has been these talks going on that should we increase a subject for climate change.
Mhm.
I would say no, it's not important. It could, I mean, I want climate change, like education and information about climate change to be something fun for the kids, not something that is like, okay, I got another subject. Thanks to the
Okay.
activists or thanks to the, crisis, I've got another subject. I don't want things to be
Mhm.
that way. I just want kids to enjoy it like we have other curriculars like singing, dancing, and everything, in our school. It should be something like that, something, with everyone enjoys going on field trips rather than, having one more textbook, I guess.
Yeah. So you want it in a way that is easy to understand by the kids, so that they can, try to do whatever from their side to understand these serious issues from a very early age.
Mm-hmm.
Ye- Okay. Uh, so yes, we can talk, hours and hours about the climate change and all these things. But Ridhima, I know that you are going, preparing for the exams, which is in 10 days. So we won't be, taking your time right now. Probably, after a few months, we can have a bigger session where we will be, talking about climate change issue very seriously, and your work. So uh, 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 before closing the session, let me ask the last question from you. In 5 years of in the after 5 years, where you see yourself and where you see this advocacy which you had taken, the climate change issues in 5 years of time, you as a individual, as a person, and climate change as a problem.
I mean, me as a person, I see myself maybe studying in my university, very close to graduation, and for my activism and the work that I've been doing. What I can say is that I really believe that things would change. I mean, there would be like people would start respecting climate change, or they would start respecting the environment as general, and they would understand how important biodiversity is in our life. And yeah, I guess I would see less air pollution, less people dying because of not getting proper resources, and I would see less kids struggling because of not getting their child rights. And yeah, I really want to see governments, and whether it's governments or corporatives, to take climate change seriously, and to just lower the pace of profit and everything, and thinking very like closely and working very closely for conserving what is left with our what is left with us, instead of deliberating on these topics, like we want development as fast pace right now. And yeah, I guess I just want to, I want things to, I just want my kind of like expectations that I've been having for so long, I just want them to come alive in a way. And yeah, I just want things to be nicer for everyone to live in, and I just want kids to enjoy their life. I don't want kids to have the same childhood as I had, like as I am having right now, like struggling and having anxiety and fear of dying someday, or working in climate change. I want things to be more nice for them. I want them to enjoy all those things that I sometimes miss out, or I sometimes feel like I'm missing
Good.
out.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ridhima, and I really hope that in 5 year of term we should be able to get the clearer sky and the fresher air and the cleaner water and a nice temperature. Let's hope for the best and our finger crossed, and all the best for your 10th exams, Ridhima.
Thank
and
you so
we
much.
hope and we hope to talk to you again soon about the work you are doing about the climate change. So thank you very much for taking your time and talking to us. Have a
Thank you
great
so
day.
much.
Thank you. So, friends, this was Ridhima Pandey, and she was talking about her advocacy, her activism about climate change, and about also Ridhima as a person, as a girl child who is studying in class 10th and preparing for 10th examination. I know that talking climate change, sometimes people think that he or she who is talking about climate change and talking about development and government is pointing some specific person or some specific one. No, gentlemen, no, friends. We When the activists or like Ridhima Pandey is talking about climate change and the government, she is talking about a government as a machinery, because it's the government's duty to make our life better. So don't take her activism on that way. And as you know that in during these film festival hybrid mode screening days, you can watch a lot of films on climate change and its ill impact, and it's and also about climate change mitigation on the India Science OTT channel. So please go to India Science OTT channel, powered by DST, Government of India, and Vigyan Prasara, an autonomous body of Department of Science Technology, Government of India, and watch wonderful films on climate change, and then probably you will be able to understand what Rejma is trying to say, and what kind or what he is trying to deliver, or talking about when she is advocating about climate change. And please do not forget to join us tomorrow again at 11:30 with some another person who will be talking about his or her life and work. And yes, at 4 o'clock today in the evening, join us again to talk to another wonderful filmmaker. Till the time, on behalf of CMS Vatavaran and the India Science and team, I thank you all and hope to join you in the evening at 4 o'clock. Thank you. Have a great day.